Phoenix is in my logo too, so
Okay, I
you'll
didn't know
like my logo.
that. But
Um,
that's just a taste of
yeah,
it. And what I want to do is because I want to keep your time, but I want you to stay connected with each other. One of the ways I've
yeah,
done it is I've helped you to do this by I am so excited because the Champ I Am community app is now official. It's now a thing. So we actually have our own app. I'm going to put it in the chat. And I would love for you to sign up. It's free. It's a free app on Apple and it's a free app on Google where you can go directly to the website and sign up. And it's our own private community that's outside of Facebook. Yes, because I said, why should we compete with Facebook for our time and our things where you can come directly and not have to worry about, going through the weeds. You can come directly for the Champ I Am content. So in there, it's multiple communities with on one platform. So what I mean by that is I have a motivational community. I have a speaking coach community where I'll be giving tips on how to build your speaking coach and building your, I'll be able to have a school that's in there. We'll have a private community. We'll have a faith in the marketplace community. So people can actually go to the community that they want to and be able to build connections in that live community. So you'll get the archive of my YouTube, that my good YouTube. So you won't see the ancient stuff that I did, but some of my new stuff you'll have on there. And you're going to be able to see because one of my hearts is that y'all don't get a chance to really see everybody during the 3 days. You'll be able to have to see each other's presentations before the conference even begins directly in the app. So you'll be able to then, again connect, and the purpose of that is to keep connection going. The feed, everybody can talk back and forth in. You can make connections and you can actually talk to each other into the app, and I will be minding my business. So, make connections, but it's all in one community. Um, if you're interested in being able to create your own app in there, let me know and I'll send you the link because the person that created this app only did it for $99. And then all you have to do is pay for the just pay for the hosting, which is the hosting for Apple and Google, which is like $100 a month for that. So you can't build that when you can build your own community in one application. Actually, before remind me, and I'll give you the link that you can go directly to them and they'll be able to help build your app as well so that you can do it. Now, most people wouldn't do that. And that's one of the things that I am doing differently on the Champ I Am community is I am not a gatekeeper. I'm not going to hide truth from you about it. If I receive some new revelation or understanding, I'm bringing that straight to the community. I've been doing this since 2016, and my goal is to help speakers build their platforms and take at least 3 or 4 years of learning off. You shouldn't have to do that. If you have a good coach, a good mentor, a good connection, you should be growing faster than anybody. You shouldn't be stuck in people's circles. So I'm not trying to keep you in my circle. I don't own any of y'all, but I want you to be engaged. So when you go into the community, I would love it if you add maybe a YouTube thing from your YouTube in the feed that you want to share your message with the community in the feed. You can do that as well. So we want to make sure that this is that we make the world even smaller, that we can connect. And we have Australia, we have New Jersey, we have people from where? People from India are going to be on this conference. So I'm just so excited of the variety of voices that we have. But what happens after this? The community app keeps us together. So let me talk about what's going to happen in the next this next part. I'm going to give you some things about how to create your video, the best way to do your video and to submit your video. We're going to talk about maximizing the stage, maximizing this opportunity, and then I'm going to share the last part of the lesson is going to be on how to sell your story without sounding like you're selling. I can always tell when a Whopper's coming sometimes because I feel myself being led to the close, right? But that's not the best way of actually doing presentation. So by the time we get finished today, you're going to have a clear way of building your message in your video that we all should have some type of call to action at the end. So if you're like, I don't have a product, if you have a book, that's a call to action. If you have another training that you could take them through. That's a call to action. We want you to have a strong call to action, but you're like, well, how do I get from A to Z? We're going to show you that in this call. And we're going to actually record this. We're recording this so that people who are not here will be able to read it. But then I also want you to be able to go back in that and be able to do that. And this is also going to be available in the community as well for a short period of time. So you can actually go into the app and watch it from the feed. And once I edit it and take care of that. So that should be available probably late tomorrow night. Okay. So section one, I'm gonna break this into three sections. So section one is we're gonna talk about your presentation. So as you see, your background makes a big difference on how you look and how you feel when you're doing your presentation. So if you're doing your presentation from, I'm doing it from a camera, a regular camera, or you can be doing it from your phone, or your laptop, preferably from your laptop. If you have a laptop, it'll be better because like how Zamin has the vertical, we need that screen to be like long ways. Okay, so when you're doing your presentation, it needs to be like that if you're doing it from the phone. What I don't like about sometimes the phone is when you have it in the vertical position, it's not catching your eyes, and your eyes look like they're going this way rather than there. We want to make sure that your eyes are in the camera and you're looking at the camera because they're gonna be like, who's he looking at? Like who's behind my shoulder? We want we want to make sure we have that. The next thing about it is also your background. Now, I was very skeptical. I was very skeptical about green screens because I didn't like green screens. I didn't like green screens for the longest time because people would give us these nice fancy backdrops, and we put on there, and you would see that. I don't know if I'm gonna show my age. Max Headroom was like, you know, there was like this guy that was on the computer screen, and he was all fuzzy, and then when his hands moved, it looked like the dragon and from Bruce Lee, and you saw this hand move like that. It just didn't look good, right? So you're not pressured to do this unless you can do it right. So I'm gonna share how I did this. There is a green screen behind me, right? There is a green screen behind me. The lights are focusing on the green screen that's behind me, not on me. I'm catching the side view. That's the reason why you can see my hands. It looks like I'm sitting in a blue room, right? If you can do that, do that. If you're not, if you're looking right now and you have a green screen up and you have that hazy look, I'd rather just find a white wall somewhere and just use the white wall in the living room and post from there. But if you're going to do the living room thing, please be very conscious of your background. Like when you have too much in the background, what happens is it takes the attention off of you. And then I start looking behind Bishop and say, who's the guy behind him? Oh, who's that picture right there? Who's that guy over there, the blue bird? And I'm starting to look, oh, that little girl, a little rainbow bright picture in the back. And I ain't listening to the thing that Barlow put behind him because now I'm distracted, right? Or I'm looking at it and say, you know, I got all these books and pictures. I'm looking in the background. So sometimes less is best with that. And just make sure that you have a nice lit room where I said, even the way Dr. Renee has her chair right now, she can literally do that where she's at right now. No distractions or anything like that. But again, making sure that when you're looking at the camera, that you're looking into that camera. And I have a teleprompter. So if you see me doing this, I'm looking at my teleprompter. When I'm looking at my teleprompter, I'm focusing my attention directly on the camera and I'm looking forward. Okay. So those are
If
some
it
of the
makes
things.
you,
Huh?
I was gonna say, if it makes you feel any better, one thing about me, big wrestling fan. We got a big famous wrestler from Mississippi, and one of our old neighbors knew them, so him and the famous wrestler and his son both signed pictures for me. And then the little drawing is from my little niece. She drew me a picture, well, colored me a picture.
See, I didn't mean to put him on that background. He gave us content. But that's what happens because we're filled with stories. Okay. And that's what people are trying to find. They're all trying, and they're little detectives too, trying to find out does his story match his life and does his life match his story. But if you're doing all that, are you really listening to me? So your background makes a difference. Now, if he was to put that and that was a part of his story and that was a part of the thing, it becomes a part of the presentation. Um, the blurred background. I really don't want to blur background as well, like Zamir has on the back, But if you could find a well-lit room that can do that, or a space where the wall where there's nothing much going, plain is better. Because again, as I showed you in the conversations, we're going to put a lower third at the bottom of that. So that's going to take the attraction and take the eye contact on the lower third and you, not lower third you and what's going on around you. So just be clear of that, because part of a presentation is making sure that, you know, the clarity of your picture is good too. If you feel that your computer cannot record, I'm going to say this, I said this before, if you make an appointment with me, we can record off of my StreamYard, and I can record directly for you, and then I'll upload it for you. But what I don't want you to do is wait to the last minute, and I have 15 people calling me the last week of June trying to book me for a StreamYard consult to do your recording. So if you think that that's something that you're not technical and you need a little help, and we just do that, I'll give you my StreamYard link, and then I'll record you for the 20 minutes, and then you can go from there. But you need to reach out to me and let me know that's what you want to do, and I'll take care of you for that too. That's for people that are listening for the replay as well. I already got you. We just got to put a date. And there's no shame. We're always learning. We're constantly evolving. As speakers, we are constantly evolving. So if you saw some of my virtual stuff that I did when I first started in COVID, and you see now, it is light years better. So embrace the journey, learn from where you're at, and grow from where you're at, okay? Any questions? Oh, last thing is for this first section, your videos are due that first week of June. July. Sorry, we're already in the midst of June already. Wow. That first week of July, okay? And the reason why we have to have it by the end of that first week is because we have to send all of your videos to be edited so they can put the lower thirds on. And then after we put the lower thirds on, they'll be ready for production. We will be working on a channel, so you'll get another link. So keep paying attention to the emails from Lauren, because she's going to give you the agenda. She's going to tell you what time you will be speaking on the 3 days, because you'll be speaking throughout the 3 days, so you can let your people know what time you're going to be on, so they can support you that way as well, okay? And then she's going to give you a site, an actual website that's going to link you directly to the Champ I Am Live site, okay? So we'll be able to take care of that as well. So they'll be able to know. So how we do that site is there's a classroom, and they'll see 2 screens. There's a classroom, and they can choose which screen they want to go, which classroom they want to go at a time. What we're seeing as a trend is most people are listening to like one and a half. They'll listen to the speaker before, and then we can listen to the speaker they're listening to, or they listen to you, and they'll stay on for the speaker that's after. So you never know. That's why I want to make sure that you have a strong call to action now. Any questions? Yes, you're on mute, doctor.
Thank you. In terms of looking at the camera, I know the screen has everybody at the top and you're at the bottom and you're nice and big. Am I supposed to be looking directly at the camera or down at you?
You're always supposed to be looking directly at the camera when you're speaking on your so when you do your YouTube thing, when you come to me in my StreamYard, you'll actually be the only person on the screen.
Okay.
So you'll be looking directly at you. I'm going to jump back into backstage, and you'll be directly on the screen. So you'll be looking straight and forward and looking directly at your camera. So I'm looking directly at my camera, and this is what directly at my camera looks like now. So I'm not doing this. I'm actually looking at 2 screens. I have you here on my laptop, but then I actually have my camera right here. So when I focus on my camera, I'm looking at my teleprompter right here, and I'm looking directly so you can see the difference.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions? Good. All right. So that's the end of part 1. Yes.